my independent and compassionate Aquarius friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. At Aquarius, there's a restlessness in the air around you this week. You might sense it most in those small, silent moments, when the world slows just enough for you to notice the way your thoughts seem to jostle for space. It's not always loud, this tension. Sometimes it's a subtle ache, like the feeling of ideas stacking up behind your eyes, waiting for a place to land. You may find yourself searching for the right words or gestures, only to realize that what you're really seeking is a sense of ease within your own skin. This isn't discomfort for the sake of discomfort. It's more like the energy that brews just before a breakthrough. There's a quiet question hanging in the background. What if the friction isn't something to be fixed, but something to be understood? For now, you sit with it, feeling the currents move beneath the surface, and perhaps wondering if anyone else notices the effort it takes to hold your ground. The world may not see the whole of what you're carrying, but you feel every shift. You sense the unspoken challenge of this week, to find your footing while the ground itself is changing. The 5 of Wands sits at the heart of your experience now. Here, tension doesn't just live inside you, it ripples out into your world, shaping the way you interact with others and yourself. You might notice that conversations feel more charged, or that even simple tasks seem to require more negotiation than usual. There's a distinct sense that each part of you wants to be heard to stake a claim. This can leave you feeling scattered, as if you're wrestling with competing priorities that each demand your attention. Sometimes it manifests as a desire to prove your point, to be understood in ways words alone can't quite capture. Other times, it's subtler, showing up as a hesitation before you speak or act, wondering whether your input will be received the way you intend. Underneath it all is a core longing to move forward without losing yourself in the fray. It's easy to feel frustrated when every direction seems to involve some kind of push or pull. Yet there's a vitality in this inner contest, a sign that you care deeply about what happens next, even if the path is unclear. You might catch yourself replaying old arguments in your mind, or imagining future scenarios where you finally say the thing you meant to say. This isn't a sign of weakness, but a testament to how much you want things to align, both within and around you. The week asks you to notice where you're holding tension, and to recognize the courage it takes to stay present when things feel unsettled. Your energy is not wasted. It is a signal that something important is being worked out, even if you can't see the resolution yet. As the days unfold, the inner friction finds its way into the world around you. The restlessness you feel becomes a kind of momentum, propelling you to seek new solutions or to try different approaches. It's as if the desire for alignment within yourself calls forth new opportunities and new challenges in your path. The emotions you carry quietly start to shape your choices, nudging you toward fresh ground, even if the first steps feel uncertain. Your internal landscape and the world outside begin to mirror each other, each reflecting the other's complexity. The Page of Pentacles marks the path ahead. In this stretch of days, you may find yourself drawn towards something new, perhaps a project, conversation, or skill that asks for your attention. There's an energy of beginnings here, but it isn't free from pressure. The environment around you may demand more than you expected. Tasks pile up, details require scrutiny, and you sense the weight of others' expectations as well as your own. Progress feels possible, but only through steady effort. There's a tug between wanting to prove yourself and fearing that you'll never quite measure up. The world seems to be watching, maybe not literally, but you feel the eyes of responsibility, of possibility on your actions. This can spark excitement, but also anxiety. Each small step forward seems to raise the stakes for the next one. You might encounter friction with others over priorities, over how things should be done, but underneath it's all part of a larger movement toward growth. The pressure you feel isn't just about external demands, it's also about the standards you set for yourself. You want to do things well to honor your own vision, even when the path is less than clear. There's a learning curve here, and sometimes that means stumbling, revising, starting again. The momentum is real, but so is the need for patience. The world offers you raw material, but asks for your steady hand in shaping it. In this crucible of pressure and possibility, you begin to sense that the friction of earlier days is not an obstacle but a catalyst, one that sharpens your focus and gives you a reason to keep moving, even when the way ahead is littered with questions. Yet none of this unfolds automatically. The potential ahead is not a given, it depends on how you meet the week's challenges. The friction you carry, the pressures you navigate, these are invitations, not guarantees. What you make of them depends on your willingness to engage with what's real, even when it's uncomfortable. The outcome is shaped by your conscious presence, your ability to notice where you're pulled off balance and to return again and again to your own center. Potential waits at the edge of your awareness, asking if you're willing to see what lies beyond the familiar patterns. The Five of Swords rises to meet you here, not as a warning, but as a mirror. This is the moment where growth becomes possible, if you're willing to acknowledge the hurt or disappointment that can arise when things don't go as planned. There may be a temptation to see each conflict or setback as a defeat, to judge yourself or others harshly for what wasn't resolved, but there's another way to hold this, as an invitation to understand the difference between winning and being right, between holding on and letting go. The growth available this week is subtle, woven through the choices you make when the dust settles. It's in the pause before you react, the breath you take when you feel misunderstood, the quiet willingness to see the bigger picture. There's a chance to recognize that sometimes the most important thing isn't the outcome of a single moment, but the integrity with which you move through it. This isn't about avoiding conflict or pretending everything is fine. It's about meeting each situation with honesty and allowing yourself the grace to step back when needed. The invitation is to see that peace doesn't always mean agreement, and that true resolution often begins within. Growth in this context is not a sudden transformation, but a gradual softening, a willingness to let go of battles that no longer serve you and to honor your own boundaries without apology. When you look back on this week, you may notice how the story threads together. The inner friction that once felt like a burden becomes the spark that sets your journey in motion. The pressures and opportunities of the days ahead ask more of you than you thought you could give, yet reveal a steadiness you didn't know you had, and the moments of conflict or disappointment, far from being failures, open the door to a deeper understanding of yourself and others. Each stage is connected, the restlessness, the striving, the reckoning. Together they form a pattern, not of struggle for its own sake, but of growth that emerges from meeting life as it is. It's natural to wish for clarity, for certainty, for the reassurance that your efforts will lead somewhere meaningful. But even in the absence of guarantees, there's a quiet satisfaction in knowing you have stayed present, engaged, and true to your own process. The week may not resolve every question, but it leaves you with a sense of having moved, however subtly, toward greater self-awareness. In the end, you can trust that the energy you invested, whether in seeking, striving, or letting go, was never wasted. It was simply the cost of growing into yourself, one honest step at a time. Actionable insights for Aquarius this week. Let yourself notice when your body feels tense and pause there for a moment to breathe. Try naming the feeling behind your urge to prove a point, just for yourself. See what happens if you allow a conversation to settle without reaching for resolution right away. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am steady, even when the world moves fast. I can listen to tension without losing myself. My efforts matter, even when results are unseen. Each choice brings me closer to understanding. I trust my ability to meet what comes. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.